This is a call for an uprising. Welcome to today's show. As I report on regularly on this channel, the mass media goes out of their way to mock quote unquote conspiracy theorists, truthers, whatever you want to deem those of us who are awake. I've talked about how Jimmy Kimmel and all the late night hosts, Stephen Colbert, have weekly segments where they go out of their way to mock us and mock truth. This is all because it's how they get the rest of the world to look at us, discredit us, and roll their eyes at us and call us tinfoil hat wearing buffoons. And how they do that is by mocking us, by using humor and sarcasm as a weapon to their advantage for psychological warfare against the masses. Because when they bring up these topics that some people might be on the fence about, whether your vote counts or not, and then having Obama crack jokes about how ridiculous of a statement that is, or Hillary's health, or all these other things that go on over time, all they have to do is have a comedian or someone in the mainstream media mock it, make it seem like it's a ridiculous, absurd idea, and then that filters out to the masses out there who are under hypnosis 24/7, 365, listening to what they say, being influenced by what the media tells them, and then, like a mind control slave, they go back and they regurgitate that stuff. So that's why on a lot of the videos that I do, you see nothing but comments, especially the music video, the music videos that I expose. You see people come and comment, and they it just blows their mind. They can't understand. They're under such hypnosis. They're under such brainwashing that they don't even know what is going on in their everyday life. It is that controlled of a reality that they live in. Now another commercial has come out continuing to mock truthers, mock conspiracy theorists and theories out there. And that is a commercial by Progressive Insurance. I'm sure you've seen the commercials before. You know, the ones that are supposed to be funny, and you watch it and you don't even crack a smile on your face because they're absolutely atrocious. You know, those commercials with that old witch flow. Well, now they have a commercial where they're talking about how Progressive can save you money. They start slowing down the audio, and they start, trying to fast forward it and rewind it to see if she's saying something backwards, kind of mocking, backmasking and mocking, slowing down audio, as a lot of truthers, do those sorts of things to hear the hidden messages that are in songs, hidden messages that are all around us, because we live in a world where symbols and hidden messages really dominate and rule, because they control us through symbols and through subliminal messaging, as our brains still pick up on these subliminal messaging. Of course, Aleister Crowley talks about the law of reversals and doing things backwards. These Satanists love to do things in reverse. It's part of mind control. It's part of how they operate. So this commercial makes a mockery of that, but of course, then they do the discrediting. They cut, of course, they show the Illuminati all-seeing eye. We see the eye inside the pyramid as we always see them flash from the back of the dollar bill. They put that right on the screen, and then we cut to a basement where two grown-ups, two adults, are down there slowing down the audio from the Progressive commercial. And of course, a woman comes down the steps. You can see the washer and dryer. You see them up close with their with their microphone, pretending that it's someone like myself or another channel out there, or people who have been doing this for a really long time who are exposing these things, pretending that it's us. And then a mother comes down the steps and tells these grown men that they need to, they're going to wake up the neighbors. And it's revealed that these grown men are living in their parents' basements. The ones who do these conspiracy theories. Oh, we're all living in our parents' basements. Well, I can assure you that I'm not living in my parents' basement. And I'm sure many of you out there are not living in your parents' basement. But this is how they discredit people like me, people like you who listen to this channel, because you don't have to have a YouTube channel to be somebody who's a quote unquote, truther, somebody who's awake. I like to just say someone who's awake. I don't like to use the word truther, but whatever you want to call yourself. You don't have to have a YouTube channel to be someone who's awake. But this is how they make a mockery of it, because then people see this stuff and then they come online, whether it's something with Trump or Obama or Hillary or these music videos where people get suspicious and they go, something about this video is not right. And then they watch a video that I do or someone else does, and their brains can't comprehend it, but they don't realize that God is bringing them to these videos. Why else are they going and looking for them? Why are they looking up The Weeknd, Illuminati Exposed, or, Katy Perry, Illuminati Exposed? They come and then they go, oh, I was looking for a joke. I'm glad I found this channel. That's God telling them, listen, Here's the signs. Here's what's going on. Why else is is something coming up in their head where they're watching the Katy Perry thing and then they decide to look up, Katy Perry Illuminati or Katy Perry exposed or conspiracy theorists about, whatever the conspiracy theory might be, CERN, or whether it's HARP, or whether it's JFK's assassination or September 11th, whatever it might be. Something in the pit of their stomach tells them that something is wrong. But then they come and they discredit what they see. Because one, they can't comprehend it, and two, because these seeds have been planted in their heads by the media, and that's what this commercial does. People don't realize that. They do this all the time. Movies always have characters, a crazy guy who's a conspiracy theorist in the movie. They make him seem like a lunatic, a guy with glasses, a guy who doesn't have a girlfriend, never had a girlfriend in his life, lives in his parents' basement, obsessed with these things, has crazy, kooky ideas. They always do it. Just like I talk about the conditioning with these demon movies and these alien movies, they make sure they always do that because that's a method of mind control. So somebody like me goes and speaks to somebody who's 15, 20, 25 years old about what's going on. They're immediately going to roll their eyes because there's trigger words. Even the word Illuminati is and can be a trigger word for some, but it's also a word that people search for when they're trying to find out what's going on because they correlate this stuff with Illuminati and with the New World Order, as well as the word conspiracy theory and conspiracy theorists and all these trigger words. Now, of course, they've taken the word Illuminati, the media has, and they've kind of run it through the mud. They have Beyonce mentioning it in her song, and you hear a lot of celebrities and mainstream media talking about and using that word. That's because they've turned it into a trigger word to discredit it. But nonetheless, this commercial, these seeds that they plant in these commercials, in these movies, this progressive commercial, somebody would see it and just go, oh, I don't think anything of it. But it plants a seed in their head that all conspiracy theorists, all of us are crazy. We just sit around, we rewind, we slow down tape, we study news clips and try to find things and zoom in and zoom out. And this is how they get the masses dumbed down more, because they instantly discredit anyone out there that speaks against what they're told. Instantly. That is how these seeds are planted. That is why they do this. That is why they're not doing this commercial to take a shot at me or a shot at you. They're not doing it to give us the middle finger and say, look, we're making fun of you. No, they do this to condition everyone else out there. So when they hear us talk, without even getting through a sentence, whether they hear the trigger word like the Illuminati or New World Order or all-seeing eye or any of that stuff, they automatically will discredit it. And that's why they constantly do it. But what this also tells you is that they have a pulse on society. They know what's going on. They monitor things. They monitor us. Let's be realistic with their phones, with all this stuff. They're listening in on conversations. They know that more people are waking up every single day. Now, I don't necessarily think that they are fearful that anything will happen because they've created a very soft society. They obviously have us chemically drugged from the chemtrails and the foods, but they are doing these commercials and making sure they have Jimmy Kimmel and Stephen Colbert and other celebrities at award shows mock us, mock truthers, mock people who question anything that we're told, mock people who question this force-fed reality that we live in. They go out of their way to discredit us, and they know that they have to do this to continue to get people out there to roll their eyes when they hear us talk, to laugh, to just say, oh, crazy conspiracy theorists. And it tells you that they know that they need to keep doing this because more and more people are jumping up and going, oh, I never realized this. Whether it's something like a music video, that's why I try to cover many different things. And I know there's people who go way more in depth, and trust me, my intelligence on it is way in depth. But I also feel that there's a process for your awakening. There's a big process that's involved. You don't just jump into things that are deep down the rabbit hole. You're not going to go from knowing nothing to talking about transhumanism or CERN or those sorts of things. So whether they're waking up from music videos or they're waking up from, just stumbling on something in their everyday life, or they start seeing symbols for themselves around them, or the Mason lodges, or all these things. You never know what's going to trigger somebody's awakening. You'll be surprised how minor it can be, or how in depth you might have to get with somebody to get them to wake up. But something will tug at them and start their awakening process. That's why it's important to cover everything that's going on, from music to movies to the news to, CERN to HARP. I mean, the list goes on, to September 11th, to Sandy Hook, to any of these events that are hoaxes, the Orlando shooting, all of this stuff. It is so important to cover all of it because you never know what it's going to do to somebody. You never know who it will help wake up. There's people advanced, there's people who aren't advanced. The goal is to get everybody woken up and led back to Jesus Christ, who is the way, the truth, and the life. So again, this commercial, it tells you that all of us are doing good work. That whether it's someone with a YouTube channel, a podcast, someone who just goes around telling their friends, anyone out there, all of us, you listeners, everyone, it tells you that they know that it's working and they have to keep making stupid commercials like this and having stupid characters in movies and TV shows like this, not because it's funny or entertaining, because nobody really laughs at these stupid characters, these stupid commercials, because they have to keep conditioning everybody out there so that they automatically will dismiss channels like this or dismiss anything that they hear. If they hear, oh, September 11th was an inside job, they automatically roll their eyes. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear about it. Or they automatically, somebody says Sandy Hook. Oh, I don't want to hear. You're telling me that all those kids, how dare you say something? That's what they do. That's why they do this. So this is progressive doing it as they continue to plant these seeds, discredit people who are waking other people up. And I'll tell you right now, none of the negative comments, none of the attacks, none of these stupid commercials are going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. I'm going to continue to, whether YouTube shuts down or not, and like I've said earlier on in my videos, and I have to go door to door, whatever it takes to keep waking people up. Their attempts to shut people down or to mock us and make us feel, I feel stupid because they have stupid commercials about us. And then people come over to this channel or other channels and they just tell you off. They tell you to get a tinfoil hat. They tell you how dumb you are. I could care less. I could care less. Bring it on. Keep bringing it on. It doesn't matter. I don't even blink when I read the comments that say stuff like that. Don't even blink. Don't care. I pray for you. And I am embarrassed for you if you're somebody out there who continues to think that this is all a gigantic joke, because it is not. This is what's going on. There is a controlled reality that's going on. They are conditioning, manipulating, processing like a manufacturing plant, the masses out there into doing what they want, into obeying their laws, into obeying all of this nonsense, whether it's the transgender agenda, the gay agenda, soon to be martial law, which they already have the masses out there asking for. They have people out there begging for martial law. That's how stupid they have gotten society. They have people asking for it, saying we need to get rid of the police. We need martial law by creating this George Soros fund race war. We have to keep moving forward. We can't get, don't get discouraged by stuff. Don't get discouraged by stupid commercials like this. It's an embarrassment. Who cares what they have to say? We know what the truth is, and they are getting closer and closer to building their new world order, not through force, but through mind control, because they are conditioning everybody out there to want it. They were going to condition everyone to want a one world religion where there's no war, where there's world peace, all of this stuff which comes, in the name of the Antichrist. They're conditioning everybody to want it, to beg for it. They're not forcing it down your throat. They're not showing up at your door with a gun to your head and saying, accept this or else. They're tricking everybody out there into wanting it and accepting it. And that is a common mistake that people make, is they think that all of a sudden the tanks are going to be right in front of their front door, military tanks. People are going to want this stuff. Then they're going to keep slowly conditioning all of us. They've already been conditioning us with seeing tanks all around, small towns and on the highways now. They're conditioning us as we speak for all of it. But the masses are going to want it. So we have to keep trying, and we have to keep plugging away, and we can't let any of this stuff discourage us. We cannot. So this is the progressive commercial. I'll leave it linked up. You want to see how awful it is? Ha ha, we're living in our parents' basement. How hilarious. Try something original. I mean, that should be enough to wake somebody up, shouldn't it? It's just the same crappy writing over and over. Oh yes, all conspiracy theorists, they've been labeled for a long time, right? That they live in their parents' basements, that they just sit in front of the computer. I mean, this is what they've been doing for what? How many years now? 20, 30 years? That if you question the JFK assassination or, going back to all of these things that have occurred, these events, a lot of these staged events that have occurred in U.S. history or world history, they've labeled you this weirdo, creepy guy, can't get a girlfriend, don't fit in society, right? All of this stuff is just basic crappy conditioning, and they're not going to stop with it because they know that the stereotype that they've created is working, because people really do have this vision of all these people who don't go along with it, that don't want to, partake in a Beyonce concert and think that it's, that she's really a Satanist, that we're all these crazy conspiracy theorist people, when in reality, they're just cluelessly asleep. And we have to keep praying for them and focusing on waking them up. I'm sorry if I went into a rant, but I hate seeing stuff like this because I know it really discourages young people out there. And I want to let you know not to be discouraged by stupid propaganda like this, that the truth will continue to be spread by people like me and others out there, and hopefully the rest of you listening to this channel will continue to help wake other people up and pray for other people to wake up to what is going on around us. I thank you for listening to today's show. God bless all of you and your families.